What is happening? What the heck is actually happening? Have we all taken Shimmer? Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Arcane Season 2. We're now into Episode 3, which is called Finally Got the Name Right. So the last episode, we got to go to the other side of this whole situation in the Undercity, and we got to see that things are really bad down there. Despite the fact that they are attacking Piltover, they're in shambles down there. There's a power vacuum with Silco gone, and everybody is suffering for it. So we see that Powder now feels like, Jinx now feels like she's got to go after Vi directly. And also we've got Echo and Helmedinger back in the upper city because they're trying to figure out what's going on with the plant life down in the Undercity. So lots of crazy stuff happening, ready to jump in and see what we've got for this episode. So let's do that. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Ooh, I love that they have so much fun with the art styles in this show. It's one of the coolest things about it. I feel like if you're an animator on this set, you're probably having a great time because you're not as restricted, you know? Not Clank. Oh man, the strike team. Oh, that was cool. To the beats? Stop it.
They call it the Gray.
Isn't that where they started last episode? Whoa, whoa, whoa. This feels like Jinx. Jinx is like the Joker, but crazier. Oh, okay, it's the guy from the last episode. The numbers guy.
Oh, I decided it was time for me to retire.
Looks
Oh,
more
did
like
you?
someone decided to retire you.
I was about to say.
Planted something big right here in Pipeworks.
It's a pretty big place down here.
She was headed towards the old tunnels. Something about rerouting the fence.
Gonna stick all that exhaust right back into Piltover.
You're a confessed criminal. You'll spend your retirement in a cell. Check your gear.
At least they'll have clean air.
So tell me, Amara, what does a member of Piltover's Merchant Guild want from me?
Sitting on the floor.
I've come here to settle a debt.
What debt is that?
What you've stolen is more precious than any gold.
Excuse me? Oh! Oh!
Did you truly believe Piltover was beyond our reach?
Oh, okay, so this is who she's battling. That's terrifying.
We know what you're chasing in Piltover. We will not allow it.
Your visit only confirms my suspicions.
That hex tech works. Okay, I think she's taking over this body, though.
You should have given up the feud.
You have no inkling what family is to me.
Such great facial expressions. Okay, but is this the real lady who's your enemy, or was she just a body?
Triple the guard.
Is that gonna help?
Perhaps it's time we involve Mel.
No. We must distance ourselves. She's safer as our enemy. I'll handle Salo.
Okay.
It's worse than that.
There's more. If they've taken over this body, they can keep doing it. I'm assuming this is a body takeover. Whoever that poor lady is, poor her. But I guess that was a one-way street.
If that He-Not idiot is telling the truth, Jinx is gonna have surprises in store for us.
Yes.
All the more reason to bring backup.
So they can die?
She'll smell their nerves a mile away and find a way to use them against us.
Yep.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yep. She knows her sister better than you.
Everyone in my life has changed. Promise me you won't change.
It's true. Vi's had to deal with a lot of craziness in a very short amount of time after being literally locked away from the world for what was that, 10 years at least? Y'all really don't have time for this. You all really do not have time for this. Especially since Jinx pervy eye probably watching the whole thing. I think that green guy is their inside person because they keep zooming in on him and he keeps having these looks that don't make sense. He's the spy. That's my prediction. Maybe it's too obvious. So you're using shimmer? Maybe you're the person we need to worry about. Ooh, the side eye. Ooh.
It's the name. It bewitches people. You should know. Do you really think Mel could have succeeded with it?
Ooh, she said keep my
Never
baby's
speak
name
ill
out.
of my family.
Period. Keep the name out your mouth. There'll be more things on your body that don't work no more.
There is another matter concerning your guild merchant, Amara.
She is no more. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. I mean, the arts are important, but is this the time? Was that the chick
Good
that
to
was
see
just
you again, Lest.
drugging the dude?
If my mother gets what she wants, the whole city will suffer. And right now, you're the only one who can stand in her way.
Good pitch.
Dangerous as she is, your mother was spooked. Could smell it. Like a cat backed into a corner.
Cat, really? You would know. Oh, interesting. She gone? Oh, she Batmaned on you. So everyone's doing shimmer. This is a problem.
Wild runes are
sort of like its fingerprints.
Exactly.
So you're telling me that pattern is on my tree because you pissed the Arcane off with all your demands?
Damn! I like the way you
Lad
think.
may be onto something. Every action sparks a reaction. Oh, ball sockets.
Oh!
We tested our hex tech under every conceivable condition for years.
Conceivable to you.
If there's some reaction taking place, how come we've never seen any sign of it until now?
What changed?
Deep under ground.
Out loud, Jace. Help me. Dude, this feels so much like a video game right now. This is probably the most video gamey the show has felt.
Of course, your mother is anything but a fool. There must be an angle I'm missing.
No. Just desperation.
There's a rat's nest of misinformation surrounding your brother's passing.
Okay.
Moreover, it seems they've managed to strip your mother of most of her holdings.
Didn't know that.
I'll want his opinion of this. And check in on Amara.
No rank. Being chased by whatever the hell that thing is. I want to know your story. I need to know the story of Mel's mama.
Into a precise beam.
Oh, that transition. Oh my gosh. Jinx is so fascinating if she wasn't completely off her rocker. But I almost feel like she has to do this to get things out of her head. These transitions! That is cool and terrifying.
So instead of it exploding in your neighborhood, it would blow up in ours.
We're miles from the main fissures.
You sure?
They're the same utility ducts that carry our water and facilitate our ventilation.
Let him know.
That would explain it affecting the tree.
Inconceivable.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Hello, fashion princess bride.
We're the ones that get played.
What the?
Is it reacting to you?
Finally got the name right.
Episode title.
Never thought my sister would turn Bluebelly.
Never thought mine would orphan kids. Done pretending you're my sister. You're not. You killed her. I'm not gonna let you stain her memory anymore.
Ooh. Fighting words.
'Cause no matter what I do, I just can't seem to die.
I'm sorry.
Is this true? You didn't think she was gonna make it that easy, did you? And now she knows exactly where you are. Yep.
I'm ready.
Are you? Are you really? These transitions, y'all, I can't mentally handle them.
Walk along the edge of danger.
It's about to get intense when the music starts, when a song comes in.
To play with nature. Now watch it.
Damn, that's gonna hurt, sis. It's slow-mo, though. I'm telling you, she's gonna do exactly what she did to Echo. She's gonna give them big doe eyes, and Vi's not gonna be able to do it. Did you touch that? Oh, it's taking its tech back. Hex Tech said I've had enough of humanity, and I don't blame it. So how come Jinxes aren't affected? That's interesting. Oh my god, yep, this is definitely Jinx's house. I don't understand. Why? Oh, I guess because this came out of Jace's shop. That's right, Jinx did her own thing. What is happening? What the heck is actually happening? Have we all taken Shimmer? Oh! No! Oh, she's glitching too. I'm confused.
What have we done?
Yeah, I'm a nigger did want on you. Oh, no. I saw a whole body. Did you all see that? Oh, damn. Y'all supposed to be sisters. Oh, that imagery of the picture shattering too. That's crazy. You're not gonna be able to make that shot now. Only a digit. What is going on with you? Why does she look like that?
Come on. I'm ready.
She really is.
I'm glad it's you.
You had to go and say that. Interesting. He's gonna stop it. I think that was the right call. I don't know what that kid was up to, but at least she didn't hit the kid.
Get off me!
Guess she got a friend. It's personal for her.
No, this isn't how it's supposed to.
What is that? What is flying? What is going on? What is that? They're gonna poison everybody. Well, Undercity said everybody's gonna breathe this air. Yep. And of course, she had to make sure it had her flare with the paint. The devastation that's being juxtaposed with these bright carnival colors is insane. And she's gone, sweetie. It's over.
You stopped me.
Yeah, she did.
What if you missed? I wasn't going to miss.
She probably wouldn't have.
What's wrong with you?
I think you know.
It's her blood in your veins.
Then why are you the one acting like her?
Spicy. Ooh. Guess you're breaking up. Sorry. Vi, you had to know this was not going to be easy, girl. Was it just paint or was it gas? I'm not sure yet. Paint is doable or fixable. Uh-oh. What's happening? Is it the same person taking over another body? Yep. Don't get close. Run! Actually, I guess I'd be wondering what the hell this is too. Does she even know about this? Oh no. Well, I guess Mel's a part of it now. You had to know. God, her mom, how would she not know that they would not go after her? If they went after one of your kids. Mel better be okay, that's all I have to say.
Good
The
evening.
outfit, though. And the hair.
Our families should not need fear an assassin's dagger in the night.
Is that what happened?
You've given Zorn opportunity after opportunity
Oh,
to
who is this vampire clan?
Wrath must be met with wrath.
Oh, and how well does that go?
Someone who will not pale when faced with Zorn's degeneracy, whose conviction never wavers.
Oh, you?
Who may consider my experience and my entire detachment of Noxian soldiers at their disposal.
Honey, your daughter was just cat. Okay.
Of course, I could only be referring to...
Not you.
Caitlyn.
Yeah, you didn't think so, did you? Bro, you were high. What do you mean? You've been high for the last 6 months. Stop it. You're the one who told her Caitlyn's name carries weight. Oh. Power is sexy. It's tempting. You gonna take it? Ooh, ow. Oh. Y'all gonna start beating your chest now? Even though you're not an Oxide? Well played. Sis knows how to rally people.
It's you.
Should have known she was the one who was the leak. It's played right into what she wanted. Damn, Mel, your mom is evil. You wasn't lying, girl. Your mom is the worst. But smart. Okay, this one knows what's up. Like a drum. Just played you like a drum, girl. A drum. A drum. A drum. Oh, did you just put a jacket on her like she was James Brown?
Justice.
Oh yeah, play those emotional heartstrings. Mm-hmm. And Piltover gonna pay the price for it. Oh, now you looking like an evil overlord now. Stop it. Okay, Caitlyn. We going back to the lab? What's going on? What are you creating, bro? I don't like this. This bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh nonsense is not it. What is going on? Wait. Oh, no. We don't want to see what... No. I don't need to know what that's going to be. I don't need to. We don't need to find out what's gonna. Let's not have that hatch. Let's have that not come to be. How about that? No? Okay. All right. Woo! A lot in this episode. Again, all three have been fantastic. This was worth every penny. Like so far, this has been worth every penny you put into it. I will say that. All right. Well, the Battle of the Sisters happened this episode. It's been coming for a minute now, and we were finally here. We have Vi, who, once she realized that her sister was definitely leading them into a trap or maybe an arena, one or the other, she basically told Caitlyn, let's get rid of everyone else because my sister's not going to care about them. It's me she wants and possibly a little bit of you. So let's not drag everybody into this. If we're going to take her out, let's do it and do it without collateral if we can help it. And so Caitlyn didn't really like the idea, but she was like, I know my sister, and I'm telling you, like, none of your soldiers are up to the task for her. I think we both know that. So they cut her loose. They had their little moment there. And we heard, we had Caitlyn ask her one more time, like, are you certain you're ready to do what needs to be done if it comes down to it? And we hear Vi say, powder is gone. That is not my sister. But it's so easy to, intellectually say that. But the relationship between these sisters has been shown to be such, I don't want to say it's unhealthy, but it's definitely, to a degree, was codependent for a very long time. But obviously despite the fact that they're siblings, which is already a very deep and beautiful bond, which is very difficult to break and should be, there's also the fact that what they went through, right? Losing their parents the way that they did, that would have fused them together in a way that is much stronger than your average siblings, right? Like there is very much a survivor's type of adhesive that's really got the two of them closer than the average sibling would be. So it's not as easy. Like Vi logically knows that her sister is not the same little girl that she knew, and that what Jinx has done is now put her in a place that she can't, like, she's crossed the line, right? She's taken lives now multiple times, and it's very clear to her that it doesn't bother her, right? Jinx is not bothered at the idea of taking lives. She doesn't think there's anything wrong with that at this point. So even though I don't think that Jinx is pure evil, her morals have completely been, like, any chance that they could have been somewhat standardized is gone, right? She's now completely in this place where she's drifting in between reality and whatever it is she believes to be reality. And she just really, like I said, she does not care if life is taken in the name of what she has to do. So with all that in mind, you know, Vi knows that logically Jinx should go. But as I said, on an emotional level, the bond is so deep and so intricate and so intertwined into so much of who Vi is. And also the guilt that Vi is still carrying around for, as she says she created her, right? She's like, I created this monster, right? So there's a sense of responsibility there. And also deep down, her desire to fix it. She still thinks that deep down, even though she's logically telling herself there's no chance, her heart is still telling her, oh, there's still a chance my sister's in there, right? Maybe I can bring her back. So, and that's a very valid thing for her to feel. So anyway, she said she was ready for it, but I think even Caitlyn deep down kind of knew, but I think Caitlyn was going to take the shot regardless. And I think that's why she didn't mind continuing on. But anyways, they go in. We see that they got the information as far as what Jinx was possibly planning from the accountant we saw last episode. And basically, I guess Vi thought that Caitlyn would let him go because technically he didn't do anything wrong directly, except be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But Caitlyn was like, no, arrest him. And so we see already that Vi is kind of like, wait, you're kind of coming down like the enforcers that I hated growing up. Like, you're starting to act a bit like them. But she kind of lets it go at that point. And then when they eventually do get down to it and they figure out where Jinx is going to be, we see that once again, they kind of have that talk and we hear Caitlyn say, if you have the shot, take it, to Caitlyn, right? Like, she's like, I want you, but which makes sense to me because I figured there's no way that Vi can do it, but at this point, she wouldn't necessarily stop somebody from doing it directly. You know what I mean? Or, you know, if she could, sort of thing. So that's kind of where she went into the whole situation thinking. And then we see that the whole, the verbal face-off goes between her and her sister, and basically they both kind of confirm that they're done with the sisterhood thing, that they're ready to take each other out. And we see that, of course, I think that Vi should have known that her sister would know that Caitlyn was there and that Caitlyn is a damn good shot. But anyways, we see that very smartly, Jinx figures out a way to figure out where Caitlyn is and to figure out whether or not that was the plan. And she gets both of those things verified with the looking glass situation. And honestly, Vi should have known. I think Vi still underestimates how smart her sister is. I think she thinks that just because her sister is not 100% there, that means she's not less smart. And that's a big mistake and an underestimation on her part. She should always be thinking that Jinx is 2 steps ahead as far as a plan. But digressing, the fight ensues once they figure out where everybody is. Savika is there, as well as this kid who's developed apparently an emotional attachment to Jinx as well. And the whole thing goes off. The fight is amazing. Once again, all the fights that they do in this show are always, please, chef's kiss. So well animated. Definitely the kind you can watch multiple times because you're going to catch new things every time. But anyway, they fight and it gets ugly. And in the middle of things, you know, their weapons start glitching, but that's something we're going to get to in a minute. And in the end, we see that eventually Vi does get the drop on her. And we see that Jinx says, all right, do it. Like, I'm ready. And I believe her. I honestly believe that Jinx, because we heard her say at the beginning of the battle, no matter what I do, I can't seem to die, right? So we saw that already. She thought she was going to die earlier, or last episode when the gangsters got her, right? Although they said they weren't going to kill her, they were just going to hurt her. But either way, she got saved at the last minute by the kid again. And then this time, the same thing happened. But I really believe her, though, when she said that she's ready. Like, because in her mind, she's got nothing left, right? Parents are gone. Her sister, she knew her, was gone. Silco is gone. She doesn't have anyone that she feels is really there for her and loves her for who she is, right? The way she is, as broken as she is. And so I do believe that she's like, all right. And she said, it should be you. Anyone, if it's anyone, I wanted it to be you. And so, of course, as she's saying these things, I think that Vi realizes it's not an act. She means it. And of course that touches her because this is her baby sister. This is the girl that she grew up protecting. And again, the thing is, and what's amazing about the art design around Jinx that I love is that even when she's being fierce. But overall, she still has such an innocent, childlike face. Like the fact that her eyes are so huge. And again, she's young. I was saying that I think she's only supposed to be around 16 or 17, 18 years old. She's a baby still for all intents and purposes. And she's this baby face. And when she's sitting there, she has these moments where she looks so innocent and so soft and so childlike that it's disarming. And we saw last season that that's why Echo couldn't finish her when he had the opportunity, because as much as he knew she was dangerous in that moment, he sees this kid. And that's who she is. She is a kid. And despite all of this, despite how hardened she's become in some ways, and as I said, how morally corrupt she's become as far as life-taking, there is still a broken little kid underneath all of it that only just wants to be loved and accepted. And that comes out at the weirdest of moments. And it's very disarming because it's real. It's not an act. It's not something she's tapping into to manipulate. It's genuinely what she's going through, because at the top of all of this, really, you know, this is a girl who's dealing with severe mental health issues and no one who can help her, unfortunately. So coming back, she's saying all this. And of course, as I predicted, Vi can't do it. Like, to just kill her sister in cold blood is not something that she's able to do. And I don't think she should have to do it, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, we see that Caitlyn does manage to get the shot. And right as she's about to take it, we see that the kid that's been following Jinx around since episode 2 jumps in and actually aims a gun, first of all, at Vi. But interestingly, we hear Jinx say no, right? She doesn't want this kid to take the shot. And again, I don't know if it's because she wanted to be the one to do it, or if she just is a reflex because she does want to protect her sister. But either way, she doesn't want the kid to take it. But she's also shocked because she doesn't know what's going on here. Because why is this kid doing this? And then we see that Caitlyn shoots the gun out of the kid's hand, which I'm thankful for, because the kid, I don't think wanted to pull the trigger, but I think she was willing to, or I don't even know what the kid is at this point. We're gonna call them they. We don't know what the kid was gonna do, but I think they were willing to take that life if they thought it was going to protect Jinx. And again, I don't know if it's just an attachment thing because Jinx has been kind of low-key protecting them. Not really, but yes. Or if it's just that they feel like they've got no one else they can turn to. I don't know, but the kid's clearly attached is the point. To the point where they throw their body onto Jinx when the weapon is gone because they don't want Jinx to be taken out. And you see Jinx has no idea what to make of this because, in Jinx's mind, this kid's just like, why is this kid here? Like, you know what I mean? Jinx is not even registered that this kid's a person at this point. And she's trying to push the kid off because she's like, this is not the way it's supposed to go. And at this point, Vi is like, okay, I think in Vi's mind, seeing this child willing to sacrifice themselves for Jinx is like the confirmation she's been hoping for that there's still some humanity left in there. Right? Like, why would this kid be drawn to Jinx if she's pure evil? Right? And not knowing that, first of all, kids are not that bright. Just kidding. No, but truthfully, kids are actually very good at reading intention, if that makes sense. Like all kids, like we're all born this way. We have a natural way of picking up on people's intentions. And, we call it our gut feeling. As adults, we often start to ignore it and we tell ourselves that it's not what we think it is, but almost always it actually is exactly what we think it is. But anyway, kids are very in tune with it. They tend to be that way until they get to a certain age. And my point is, I do think that the kid is picking up on the fact that I don't think anything Jinx does is particularly malicious, if that makes sense. Like, is it intentional? Yes. But is it malicious? No, it never was. Even as a kid, obviously that accident that changed the trajectory of both her and Vi's lives was an accident. She didn't do it with an intent to be malicious. She did it to try to protect people she cared about. And even now, all these things she's doing, like I said last episode, I don't think there's a level of premeditation there of her like, ooh, I want to do all these things with this ripple effect. It's in the moment, right? That shooting that weapon at Piltover was probably one of the most, if anything, purposefully hurtful things that she's done, right? To help. But again, it wasn't necessarily in the sense of, ooh, I want to hurt innocent people so much as I'm angry at Piltover and angry at them for taking my sister away from me, right? Remember what happened right before that happened. In her mind, she'd lost her sister to the Topsiders. And so that shot was like, damn you guys for not only taking my parents, but now you took my sister from me too. Again, not justifying it, not saying it's right. She still did a wrong thing, but you get my point. Like, I feel like that's the way that Jinx's mind works. It's not particularly malicious or with evil intent. It's very much emotional and from a place of how she feels and how she perceives the world based on how she feels. So anyway, point being, I don't think that little kid, I think that little kid senses that Jinx is this broken but generally okay person, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, this kid was being chased by gangsters at the beginning when we first are introduced to them, right? So they already know that there's a lot of real, true evil people down there, and Jinx doesn't fall in that category, if that makes sense. And it's true. Like, I don't think Jinx does take life, but generally it's not indiscriminately, pardon me, right? It's not like she's walking through the streets of the Undercity and just taking out the random people, right? She typically does things for, in her mind, a reason at the time. So anyways, there is truth to it. All I'm saying is that I do think the kid's drawn to Jinx for a reason, and I think Vi's picking up on that rightfully, but understandably, Caitlyn's not here to hear that at that point. She wants to take the shot. She wants to get the revenge. You know, there's a lot going on, and we see that Vi puts herself between Jinx and the kid more likely, or more specifically, and Caitlyn, of course, looks at it as Vi protecting her sister, which it was to a degree. But also, like Vi said, though, you can't guarantee you're not going to hit the kid. There's no way you're going to shoot her right now and most likely not hit the kid. And the kid is innocent. Like, yeah, okay, we don't know why they're throwing their body onto my sister right now, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a kid who doesn't know what's going on right now, and you're going to take their life, you know, just because you want your revenge. So I do think that Vi made the right moral call. Was it the right call overall for the safety of this whole situation? Maybe not, but understandable. And again, I knew that when it came down to it, Vi's not ready to say goodbye to her sister, not like this. So anyway, while that's all happening and they're trying to figure it out, and hilariously, I think it's so funny that in the background, you hear Jinx trying to toss this kid off of her, and she's like, this is not what I wanted. Like, this is not the way I wanted it to be. Like, I want to end this. And then, of course, Savika ends up setting off the whole big plan that Jinx had set up as far as sending something into the vents of Piltover. So I thought it was going to be the gas, right? Because we saw so many things we've seen around Caitlyn seeing the schematics for the ventilation system, which is supposed to get all that toxic air out of the Undercity, and how the fact that earlier in the episode, we found out too that Jace and what they were doing with the hex testing was going into the Undercity, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. The point is, clearly there was something going on with the venting system, and we all know that it's all connected, right? So I thought that what Jinx was going to do was take all the sick gas that they've got down there and pump it right back into Piltover, which obviously horrible, but at the same time, I don't feel that bad about it, because the fact that Piltover has known that toxic waste has been going into the Undercity for God knows how long, and basically been like, nah, I don't really feel that bad. It's like, maybe if it's everyone's problem, we'll do something about it, right? Because it's something they could have done something about or helped Undercity do something about, but they haven't because it hasn't affected them. So that's why I wasn't really all that angry if that's what was happening. Obviously, I don't want innocent people to have to breathe bad air, but that's what's been happening in the Undercity for a long time too. So I'm just saying I couldn't feel particularly bad about it. But digressing, it doesn't look like that's what happened. It looks like she just put the paint into the air. And again, it was just sending a message once again that we can hit you in different ways. Like, we don't need weapons to hit you guys. If that's what it comes down to, that's kind of what I took from that message. And again, showing how smart our girl is, Jinx is. So anyway, that happens. And of course, it gives them enough time for Jinx and Savika to get away. And Vi and Caitlyn are okay, but Caitlyn is understandably ticked because she feels like she's lost her chance of getting Jinx after all the time they've been down there trying to find her. And of course, she thinks that Caitlyn reneged on what she said. And Caitlyn was basically like, that's not what this was about. Like, there was a kid there. And, you know, they both have some points to a degree. Like, I do think that Vi was still protecting her sister to a degree, but it's just not that easy. And I don't think Caitlyn is really taking into account how difficult this truly is. I think she did before her mom died, which obviously changed a lot of things. And I can't blame Caitlyn right now, right? She's in her feelings, and understandably so. She shouldn't be down there, to be perfectly honest. In her head state, she shouldn't be down there. But I understand that she still needs time to get through her grieving process before she can even begin to understand where Vi is coming from with all of this. And so it looks like they're on a hiatus at the moment. I wouldn't say they've broken up, but, you know, there's some very differing and understandably differing opinions here that they're both going to have to work through. Like, I think Vi needs to be a bit more understanding of where Caitlyn's coming from as well. But I also feel like Vi needs to really figure out what she's doing here, because I don't think she belongs in that uniform. You know, there's just still too many things wrong with that whole enforcer situation for her to be on that side, especially with her history. But anyways, that's where we left them. And then we see that in Piltover, we've got Echo and Jace and Heimerdinger trying to figure out the situation with the tree and how these things are connected. Because, like, again, the tree is underground, far away from where they're doing the hex stuff. How's that happening? We discover two things. One, that the hex tech is evolving and learning. And secondly, that they believe that this learning is also picking up on human emotions and potentially it's getting its own ideas and desires. So, for example, they're saying that maybe, well, I like the way Echo put it, it's like, you are asking too much of the hex tech, and the hex tech basically said after a while, screw you, we're doing our own thing. And then we see that I do think it's emotionally charged, is my point, but we'll get to that. So anyways, we see that when Jace kind of walks through the whole scenario, he recognizes that he takes everybody down to where they've been testing all their hex tech for the weapons, etc. And it's this big dome underground, and he's like, oh, we put it here because it's safe for everybody. But Echo reminds him very smartly that no, actually, it's not completely safe. It's actually pushing most of the danger towards the Undercity. He's like, your vents, all these things, your water, all of that, it filters into our city. So it's keeping Piltover safe, but it's not safe for us. And this is why our tree is getting poisoned, because all this stuff, the runoff from whatever you're doing, is in our water and it's hitting our plant life and obviously inevitably our people at some point. So of course Jace is sitting there looking dumbstruck, but this is exactly what Victor was trying to tell him about, like the one-sided viewpoint he gets when it comes to this whole testing thing. So anyway, that's how they figure out how the tree is sick, despite the fact that all their testing is in Piltover. And while they're there, we see that the hex tech actually actively starts to react to them. And as I said, you know, Echo is getting very understandably upset and angry with Jace. And that's when we see the hex tech react. So I do believe it reacts to high emotions, just like it did with Victor, which I don't think he recognizes yet. So anyway, we see that when it starts going crazy in the chamber, all of the hex tech that's been touched goes crazy. And we see that everyone's, you know, their machinery, their weapons, the gauntlets, the gun, everything, and eventually even the stuff that Powder has created goes crazy. Although hers took a minute to go off, and I'm wondering if it's just because she didn't engage hers until later, or if it's just because she's been away from all the other stuff. But either way, it all starts to react. And it eventually does calm down, but of course Jace has no idea what happened, and you saw what's happening. Like, their faces were like warped. I don't know what was going on, but it was crazy. And Heimerdinger looked very unimpressed. So interesting to find out, like, to know now that this hex tech might be a whole other subspecies of things they need to deal with is pretty crazy. But I'm like, do we have time to tackle this in this season? But we'll have to find out, I guess. But speaking of the hex tech being a problem, that goes to the other thing that was going on in the Piltover area, and that is that Mel's mom is working. She has been to work. We found out this episode she is the one who's been feeding information to the Undercity as far as when to attack and how to attack, and it's all part of her plan because she wants the city to basically give her what she wants, which is access to the hex tech. Why does she want access to hex tech? We discovered that apparently back on their home planet or wherever they're from, she's been stripped of pretty much all of her rank and her money and her status because of this war, this battle that's been going on with, I guess, the Black Rose is what we're calling them. And she needs a weapon that can work against them. And that's why when she found out about the hex tech, and we learned a little bit of that last season, but that's why she came and she tried to get Mel to kind of help her. But Mel's like, I already know you're up to some nonsense and I'm not down. But we see that Mel has been trying to figure out what her mom is up to because she knows better. And she was able to pick up a little because there's a little bit of a spy there in the network, that Catwoman. Anyway, she wasn't able to get a lot, but she at least knew that her mom was up to something, and it had something to do with Amara, who we saw unfortunately died. And she died because apparently whatever this Black Rose is, they can do long distance possession. Like, what the heck? I'm assuming this is magic of some kind. I don't even know, but that's crazy. The fact that she literally turned this woman to a puppet from God knows where, and it looks like it's a one-way street because I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming that's the reason why Mel's mom felt bold enough to take this woman out, but it was some pretty powerful magic is the point. But it looks like hex tech is a valuable tool against it. And so we saw that this Black Rose said that they were going after Mel's mom because she's like, I know why you're there. We know what you're up to. We're not going to let you. So Apparently she said that Mel's mom should have let it go. And then we see that Mel's mom said the reason she didn't was because of the death of her son. And that she's like, family means everything to me. So interesting, some stuff we're learning about her. But yeah, this is part of this. Her problems are now part of this world now, thanks to her coming there. But anyways, this is why she's desperate for the hex tech. We see now that it seems to work against whatever this sorcery is that the Black Rose is using. But anyhow, unfortunately, her mom provoking the Black Rose like this and showing off what the hex tech can do is a problem, because we see that the Black Rose eventually went for Mel. And that made sense to me, because that's the first thing I thought when she did this, is I'm like, man, if they already went after one of your kids, what makes you think they're not going to go after Mel now, right? Which I thought was interesting, that Mel's mom said, don't tell Mel about this because I want her to, even if she hates us, it's better that she stays on the outside of all of this, which I think is interesting. But I mean, for her to not think that Mel would be collateral damage is crazy to me. But anyways, maybe she just thought, I mean, Mel did say it. Her mom is desperate. If she's lost her rank, lost her status, lost people, and she's here making rash moves, it's because she's desperate. So yeah, we see that all these things she helped the Undercity do to provoke this war so that she could get martial law instated, which they've now agreed to. And of course, she put Caitlyn at the front of it because her name carries weight, which was what Salvo, is that his name, told her. And of course, that idiot actually thought, his drug-addled brain thought that he was going to be able to be the one to do it. Please. Anyway, Caitlyn is a perfect puppet right now because she's emotionally distraught over her mom, and she's just frustrated, and she is lacking guidance. And so it's, yeah, the perfect puppet was selected. And we just see Mel's mom weaving her magic and just pulling those strings, and poor Caitlyn is falling right into it. And now with Mel being God knows where, she can't do anything to try to stop her. I don't even know whether or not Caitlyn would listen to her right now, to be honest. But yeah, I'm hoping Mel's okay. I'm wondering where she is and what happened to her, but hopefully she's all right. Because Jace, I don't even know if he would even know the first place to look for her. He has no idea what's going on. Although, no, he knows a little bit. She did tell him a bit about her homeworld before. But anyway, that's what's going on there. A lot of craziness. And yeah, I'm wondering what's going down. And then we ended the episode with the mad scientist creating what is that? What is that? I don't play League of Legends, so I don't know what that is, but it looks terrifying, and I don't like the fact that he's literally putting his own lifeblood into it. So, more things to come. All these things happening, guys. There's so many subplots going on right now. We're only 3 episodes in. We have 6 left. I'm just wondering how we're going to wrap it all up, but so far, so amazing. Loving it. Love this episode as well. And I'm just wondering what this means for the sisters too. The fact that both the sisters were not really able to end it with each other is very interesting. I keep wondering what's going to happen with this relationship. It's very complicated and very interesting, but this show centers around their relationship. So I'm very interested to see where we're going to go now that they've both kind of realized they're not quite there yet with each other. So yeah, great episode. Enjoyed it a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. Can't wait for the next set of episodes to drop. Hopefully you'll be there. Please show some love to this video if you will, and I will see you in the next one.